It's a great day in SimWorld, everyone. And here we are back with SimWorld today. I'm B-Ron alongside my man Siege. And Siege, it's always good to see you here bright and early this morning. Always good to be here with you.
Yeah, I mean, through thick and thin, through busted water pipes, bugs in the studio, I'm just glad to be back.
Yeah, me too, man. Me too. I feel like it's been a lot longer than maybe it really has, but I don't know, who knows, man. Who knows?
I mean, that's for
Um
sure.
yeah, but Race to One is going on, and boy, we've had some phenomenal games over the past couple of days. And round two wrapped up last night, and we're gonna talk about it. Let's go over some of the things that went on and what we saw, what we liked, didn't like, a surprise, that kind of thing. So let's start right at the top, shall we? Beast of the East won on a last second block from JoJo Kearney. They beat Bad Boys Basketball 55-54.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really hard fought game. There were a lot of times in the game where it looked like, especially late, Bad Boys kind of had it under control. Samuel Bogus played a fantastic game, 15 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. But just towards the end, like you said, JoJo came up with that huge block in the possession before that with less than 10 seconds remaining. Fareed Redmond was able to pull up for a little mid-range floater to put him ahead by 1 point. Just a really great game played by both teams. Beast of the East was able to grind it out and get that win, and they'll be moving on.
Yeah, that was a phenomenal game, and to come up clutch like that on a block against Lorenzo Phenom, who is one of the best bigs in Simor hoops this season. That is surprising in itself, and that's just great effort play from Kearney, and he definitely earned his flowers.
He absolutely did. I've said it before. I'll say it again, B-Ron. He reminds me of a young Tyson Chandler. His defense is top notch. Few games, we would definitely be talking about him in the Defensive Player of the Year, race.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of defense, so there was none of it really played in the second game here. Asia Pacific beat Yacht Club, pulled the upset. The 7 seed is advancing to the next round of the Race to One. They're going to the championship finals semifinal round of the of on that side of the bracket. 81-73 over the Yacht Club.
I'll tell you what, this was a great game between two teams that we talked about a lot as teams you didn't want to face as lower seeds. Yacht Club got out and ran. At some point late in the game, they were up by 12 points. Asia Pacific was able to rally back, ended up winning by 8. Jacoby Reyes with a phenomenal 26-point performance. Kai Nubi, pouring on 17 as well. And it's hard to come back from a 12-point deficit late in the game, especially against a team that can get out and run like the Yacht Club can. But, I would be lying if I said I was too surprised by Asia Pacific's success so far in the Race to One. I mean, they are a very disciplined team. They're a very calm and collected team. This is what they do. The lights don't seem to be affecting them.
No, absolutely not. And the surprising thing too about this is that when you have lower seeded teams that find ways to win, especially in big tournaments like this, sometimes that energy doesn't get carried over into the next game because you didn't think you would get this far to win that first game in some cases. But
You like,
now with APAC carried it, and they're continuing to carry it into the next round. So, how long can this story go is going to be the fun of this now.
you know what, Bjorn? I'm not sure. I'm not so sure they're done. They've got a tall task next against Southeast Select, but I'm not so sure they're done. I wouldn't be too surprised to see them pull off another big upset.
Man, that would be absolutely wild. And the next game here in our list was also a wild one too, because the Stars came out to play. That is for sure, but it didn't matter because the Originators were just too much for the reigning Trays. 75-61.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the Originators have completely returned to form. It seems they look like the team that we knew throughout the season before that slump they had at the end of the season. Firing on all cylinders. DJ Wagner looks great. Victorious Ilgauskas looked great on defense. Kamari Ward has really stepped up and become a key player for them so far in the Race to Ones. And all of that going on. once again overlooked Japhet Towns, 31 points in this matchup. I mean, he
Yeah.
did his thing, but did not get enough help. He put in about half of his team's buckets, and still they could not pull out a victory.
Yeah, and that's a shame too when you get production like that from one player and you don't manage to get the win. That's not that you don't get talked about as much. It's all about what the winning team did, which is fair. You should give them their props. But Towns put the team on his back, and it still wasn't enough. And this also brings up an interesting point too, because we heard what Kevon Jackson said prior to the race beginning. Hey guys, I'm probably not going to return. You know, so that poor timing on that. But now the conversation for the trades shifts to Kevon, are you coming back? Are you not? What are we doing? What's the plan?
Yeah, because they'll be losing Japhet Towns. It would be nice to have Kevon Jackson back. He would kind of get that 100% number one role if he was to return. So, that's something for him to consider. But like you said, he already kind of said that he's not really interested in coming back.
Yeah, and that is a absolute heartbreaker for them. And heartbreak. We know that Showtime's had a lot going on and that kind of stuff, but they were not able to beat Southeast Select, the only number one seed left in the race to one. Southeast Select able to win in a controversial game where they had to go out to LA to play that game because Showtime decided to fly back on a 1 day off day. Uh, they decided to fly back to California and couldn't get back in time, so they had to play at Showtime's home court. Showtime, it didn't matter. Southeast Select came in there and got the win. Trey Burner Turner did his thing, but they're advancing on to the next round.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, Southeast Select, I still think they're the most complete team in the race to one they have happened since the beginning. They have offensive firepower. They get overshadowed by how good that defense is, by how Trey Turner. I mean, he is just one of the most clutch players, if not the most clutch player we have in our league. But when the fourth quarter goes on, towards the end of the fourth quarter, he doesn't miss. I believe he had 4 straight threes to end that game out and made it look like it wasn't such a close game, which it really was the entire way. It was a hard-fought battle, but I mean, towards the end, Trey Turner just turned it on, and there was no stopping him.
He really did. He really did, and it's so fun to watch him go to work like that. He is going to make Tennessee fans very, very happy when he gets over there officially. Wanted to speak really quick on the moment that happened in the last few seconds of that game. We saw Bronny James. We know he had the medical issue and that kind of stuff, but he was able to come on the court and be a part of that last few moments with the team there. So that was nice to see happen.
It's just a beautiful moment. Nice for him to, get the Showtime jersey one last time before he heads off, to wherever he may be going. We're hoping to be able to see him play next year if he's able to get medically cleared. But either way, it was nice to see him out there on the court one last time.
Absolutely, it was. It was. And with that being said, let's take a look at what's up next in the race to one. So we know that it's gonna be sorry, Southeast Select taking on APAC, and then we'll see the OGs face Beasts of the East. Any predictions for this siege? Because these games will take place on Thursday. They'll start at 7 p.m. Eastern, and the first one will be APAC taking on Southeast Select.
Well, B-Ron, as much as I love APAC and I love picking upsets, as you know, Southeast was my pick from the beginning to win it all this year. I'm going to stick with them in this one. I think they're just too much of a complete team. I'm not really sure. They do have some switchblade defenders over there with APAC, Victor Soto, Jacoby Reyes, both big guards who can defend well, and that could bode well for them guarding Trey Turner, but I think it's going to be a little bit too much for them, and I think Southeast is going to get the win there. And on the other side, this is where I'm going to pick my upset. I think Beasts of the East find a way with that best interior defense in the league statistically. They're really good defensively, and I think they're going to be able to slow them down. I think Levin Cutler is going to do Levin Cutler things. For Reed Redmond, I don't think there's a guy on the Originators who can cover him. And for that reason, I'm gonna take Beast of the East and Southeast Select to move on to the finals.
You know what? I like those picks, and not just because those are mine, but I really do like those picks. And I had said a few days ago in the Discord, said it's because of their defenses. Why I think both league
Yep.
teams will reach the finals. Their defenses are both top tier in the league, number one, number two in points allowed per game. So that goes a long way, and I feel like seeing that matchup, and also the matchup of Trey Turner versus this Beast of the East defense. You know, Isaiah James, Doc Ock over there, and there's so much to look forward to in that game that I feel like that to me is the most entertaining matchup we could possibly see in the Race One Championship.
I certainly wouldn't mind getting to see it. You know, there's something to be said for getting to see DJ Wagner and Trey Turner showdown in the finals, but I think Beast of the East are going to be able to get it done and get there.
100%. And I feel it feels kind of strange not picking the originators because again they look so strong throughout the season, faltered at the end, but they've got it together at the right time. So it feels strange not picking them, not picking the at this point the chalk picks all the way through, 1 and 3. But I think that Beasts of the East are on a different level right now, and I think that they will find a way to get the win in that one.
I couldn't agree more. This tournament has not been kind to chalk so far, anyways. So
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Let's have a little bit of fun, see, since we're here at this point of the season now with race to one and all that stuff. Let's go ahead and let's do a little draft with
ooh,
with the tournament going on. Let's pick our race to one draft so far, and we'll do it snake order. So the last person will get double picks, and to make it a little extra difficult too. Once you pick somebody, they're off the board. You can't pick them again.
I love it. I love it. And since you brought this up, I'll let you have the first pick.
Okay, give me Trey Turner.
Ah, that's a great pick. Well, then I'm gonna take if you're gonna take Trey Turner. I'm gonna take. All right, I'm gonna give myself a little duel. I'm gonna start with the guy who went home in the first round, but he's still making my all tournament team. Give me Tyson Simpson. And then for my second pick, I'm gonna get a little guard play in there. I am gonna take LDO.
Okay. All right. All right. By the way, we're just doing 5 players, starting 5?
Just starting five. Let's just do starting
Okay.
five.
Okay. All right. All right. So, let me get some more defense in there, and let me get Trey Turner's teammate. Let me get Gabe Pope.
Oh, okay.
I started to take Isaiah James. I did. I
And
did, but
then your third
the
round pick. What do you
market.
got?
And then my other pick, let me get um Trey Hyman.
I like it. I like what you're building here. You're building a fan favorite team, I see, and I like it. And so then for my next pick to pair with Tyson Simpson, I'm gonna get myself Levin Cutler at the 4.
Okay. Go I like
And
it.
and then I'm gonna need someone to play next to LDO. Gonna get him someone who can shoot as well as create for himself. I'm gonna take DJ Wagner, and DJ is gonna play the 1 for me. I'm gonna have LDO run the 2.
Okay. All right. All right. That's not bad. Not bad. I like it. I like it. All right. So with those out of the way, let me get Dominic Bianco because
Ooh,
that's my last one. That's 5, I believe. Was it
that's
4? I can't count.
a great pick. I believe no, that should be 4. You got Trey, and you got Gabe, and now you got Bianco. So you're gonna need one
Uh,
more.
yeah, one more. One more. Yep. Yep. So let me get some height on the team, some more height anyway, and let me get Ilgauskas.
Ooh, okay. That's
Let
a
me get
big front
Ilgauskas.
court there. I think I'm confident with my front court being able to handle those guys, but it would be a good matchup for my final piece. Slide him in there at the 3. I do want some more shooting, but I want to have somebody who's going to lock down anybody you've got on your team. And so I'm going to take Isaiah James because I feel like I've got
Okay.
enough scoring
Yeah.
going around him. So
All
he's going
right.
to be my 3 there.
All right. I like it. I like it, man. This is it's a really fun team. Might see if we can get these together for a pickup game at some point in the offseason, maybe. I don't know when those tournaments come back. Maybe if they come back.
We'll have the fans, if you're watching, just give us a quick shout what you think of the teams. We'll get some
Yeah,
votes down there. See what they think.
yeah. We'll put them in the comments below or something, and they'll let us know what they think
Absolutely.
of the show for sure. Um, with all that though, so we've had ourselves a fun time, and you know the tournament's been full of clutch moments. And, the season overall, full of clutch moments. We've seen Brandon Smith do it. We've seen Redmond do it multiple times. We've seen Turner do it. There's a bunch of kids who are very, very clutch, and no time like the race to one to do it, obviously. So, what does being clutch mean to you? And how does that, I guess, impact the team in terms of their play down the stretch when it comes clutch time as a team overall, not for a player, but as a team overall, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, the thing is, having a clutch player, it's just as important as having a superstar. A lot of times, those two things go hand in hand. You got a superstar, you want him to be able to take over in those key moments and hit those shots. You mentioned Trey Turner. Trey Turner's kind of that guy. The second half of the fourth quarter, it's almost like he doesn't really start playing until then. He doesn't miss at that point, nothing like that. For me, though, if I'm talking, I got one shot. I'm down by one. I'm down by two, and somebody's got to find a shot and make it. Right now, there's nobody I'd rather have taken that shot than Fareed Redmond. We've seen it time and time again. He hits timely threes. He hits timely shots. But not only that, when it's a must-hit shot down one, I mean, he did it tonight. He makes them. He finds a way to get open, and he makes them. Makes them at,
Yeah.
I don't know what the clip is. I'm gonna say probably around 69%. But I mean, he is an unbelievable clutch shooter. He hits those shots in key moments.
He really, really is. And I was watching that game and I'm like, this kid did it again. Are you kidding me?
It
he His ability to find ways to make those kinds of shots is absolutely insane. And it's so impressive. It really is. I don't have any other good words to describe it other than that.
Absolutely, and
It's
we talked about a lot of clutch players throughout the year. Specific big shot Bog. He even had the name to match. Couldn't
yeah.
couldn't hit a big shot tonight to get them the win. But a lot of clutch players in this league, so you can really take your pick.
Yeah, you really, really can. There's so many, and the crazy thing is, Siege, is that I'm pretty sure there'll be more to talk about once we get to the next actual season. There'll be more players making their case for clutch player discussions and all that stuff. So like, it's only gonna get better from here, which is insane to think about because the talent in this league, at least
100%.
one, is crazy.
100%. Talent just gets better and better as the years go on.
Absolutely, absolutely, and this last one here. Why don't you lead us into our last topic? See,
So,
this one kind of
if you're
interesting.
if you're keeping up with the league, watching all the games, watching the beautiful, wonderful post up, between games, things like that, you might have heard about the SimWorld Freaky Friday question that was posed. So we're gonna continue that little theme here. We're gonna talk here about what member of the SimWorld team we would want to be if we were in a Freaky Friday situation. So I'm gonna let you lead off with your answer, B-Ron. Who do you want to be on the SimWorld team?
That's a good question. Good question. Um, I think I think I would like to be Marsh, believe it or not.
That's a great pick.
And I say Marsh because like he from what I know about the guy, he has a way of looking at the game that I personally admire a lot. He's very analytical in his approach and that kind of stuff. And I would like to have that brain because like while my brain for sports and stuff is really is good in my opinion, I struggle with putting it into words sometimes. And I feel like Marsh just is very good at putting things in putting his using his words properly to get his point across.
He's eloquent, you could say.
Thank
Now,
you.
my
See? Yeah,
reasoning, if I was
right.
going to pick Marsh, he also has four cats, and so for
Oh,
me,
yes,
that
absolutely.
pushes me over the edge for why I would want to be Marsh. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
I forgot about the cats, man.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Maestro here. The dude's seen it all. He's done it all. He's got a story for everything. I can only
Yeah.
aspire to be like that one day. One day I'd love to be the dude on the subway train or the bus who's just telling some story that everyone's like, "There's no way that happened," but it did.
Right, yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what I love. He also has told me multiple times that he often indulges in fried moon pies, which I didn't know were a thing. And so I'd like to be Maestro just to get one of those.
That sounds absolutely delicious, I can't lie to you. Those sound amazing. And speaking of the story, so Maestro, he's the guy, like you said, like, did you ever hear on a subway and you think that it didn't happen or whatever, and then you go tell your friends that you heard this crazy story?
That's Maestro.
Yeah, that's Maestro, man. We love it. We love it. It has been wonderful as always being here with you, Siege. Thank you all for listening and joining us here on SimWorld today. And remember, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game and be the game. We'll see you guys next week.